Hello everyone. In this video, I would like to explain how I train the candidates for OET exam. I will explain how the course is structured and what we do during the OET preparation course. I have seen a lot of institutes giving some listening and reading materials to the students and ask them to practice on their own. Those institutes just give 1 to 2 hours of orientation on listening and reading modules, and the rest the students have to do on their own. And these institutes focus only on writing and speaking. They correct 1 letter per day, and they also practice role plays on a daily basis, and they don't do much on listening and reading. As a result, across the globe, we see a lot of students losing in listening and reading modules. They are not getting B grades. Unlike that, at Stanford Review, the course structure is completely different and it's scientifically designed. Also, the conventional institutes, the traditional institutes, they teach all the modules in a day. They teach listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And end of the day, student gets nothing out of those classes. Of course, some students can manage to get the score, but majority of them suffer because of learning all the modules in one day. Unlike that, in my institutes, our course duration is 6 weeks. In these 6 weeks, I will explain what we do and how we train the candidates. The first week, we teach the listening module. We focus on the listening module and explain the listening format and focus on each part of listening part A, part B, and part C, and teach them the helpful strategies and tips. The entire week, I practice with my students. For example, listening part A, I teach them how to approach part A and play some questions and then ask them to solve. After that, I will give explanatory answers. And then reading part B, how to approach reading part B. I teach them various strategies and tips and ask them to solve some questions in the class. Once they are done, then I will show them the correct answer. So here in Stanford Review, we focus on the strategies and tips rather than solving a lot of material. Some people practice 50 listening tests and 100 listening tests, 50 reading tests and 100 reading tests, and they will be searching for new material. But here the point is, material is okay, but more than the material, we need to focus on the methods, strategies and tips, how we are practicing, how we are solving a passage, how we are solving the listening part A or B. Okay, so in the first week, I teach listening module, explain all the strategies and tips. Complete 1 week, I work with my students only on that module. By the end of that week, they perfect listening module, because I believe in chewing bit by bit. We need to chew bit by bit, each module a week. When I'm teaching listening in the class, I also give them some practice material with which they can practice as part of the homework and report their scores to me. And second week, we focus on the reading module, only reading module, no other module. I will explain the reading format, reading part A, part B, and part C, and teach them the strategies of part A, part B, and part C. And I keep solving the questions. I work with the students. I give them some questions, ask them to solve. After that, I will show them the correct answer. For example, if it is part B, reading part B or part C, if there are multiple choice, what is the best approach? Should I read the question first, or should I read the passage, or should I read the answer choices? This is what we teach, and we make sure Students conform to the methods, strategies, and tips that we teach in the class. By the end of the second week, students perfect the reading module. And third and fourth week, we focus on writing section. In the first writing section, in the first class, I teach them the writing assessment criteria and the types of letters. And I take a case notes and explain how to select the case notes and how to format the letter. The OET assessment criteria. So I do this in the first class. I provide them with a sample response initially, and based on that, I give a similar case notes and ask them to write their response and submit on my WhatsApp. And then in the class, I will read word for word and give feedback on that. Again, I provide sample responses. Maybe my institute is only the institute which provides sample responses for the students for all the case notes in our writing material. So we teach them the criteria, we teach them how to write a letter, and then we give feedback on the letter, we read the letter, evaluate the letter, plus we also provide sample responses for them to see how to improve their letters. So this is what we do in third and fourth week. Coming to the fifth week, we focus only on speaking section. We talk about speaking assessment criteria and speaking, how to do a role play, speaking format, and how to do a role play. I will clearly explain and practice with them. I will be the patient and they will be the nurse, or they will be the doctors, depending on their profession, and we both practice role plays. Once the role play is completed, then I provide feedback about how to open the role play, how to expand the notes, how to paraphrase, and how to be polite, and how to reassure, empathize with the patient, and how to summarize the role play, and how to leave take, how to close the role play. So I give feedback on the OET speaking assessment criteria. So this happens for 5 weeks. Once this 5 weeks is completed, I will review the performance of the students and suggest the examination date. Until then, they should not book the exam date. Okay, so after this 5 weeks, I will suggest the examination date and ask them to book, and allow 2 or 3 weeks time for them to do some intensive practice of listening and reading material which we provide as part of the course. And I also give feedback on their homework material. If they have any questions, I'll explain. And after that, 1 week before the exam, again we connect. I connect with my students and then review all the modules once again. Mostly writing and speaking. We do more letters and we do more role plays. So this is how I train my students. That is the reason over 500 candidates. Among them there are doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and physiotherapists mostly. About 500 candidates have cleared OET past 5 to 6 years. I have been teaching OET since 2017, and more than 500 candidates have cleared OET with my coaching. And these doctors and nurses and pharmacists and physiotherapists, they are working in UK, and some doctors are in US and Ireland, Australia and New Zealand. So if you want to take the best OET coaching and crack OET exam in the first attempt, you can contact me today. As I told you, among these 500 candidates who cleared OET, half of them are repeaters. They had already taken coaching from other institutes and they were not able to pass even after attempting the multiple times. For example, there is one candidate from US. Currently, she is working as a registered nurse in UK. She wrote OET 8 times and she took OET course from various trainers across India. And when she approached me, when she was about to write the exam in the ninth attempt, she took my course and she cleared the OET exam. Like this, there are countless examples. I have put all together in a YouTube link, in a YouTube video, and I have given the link in the description. You can check all the testimonials. And if you are interested, please reach out to me and take the best coaching and crack OET exam in the first attempt. All the best.